Hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am here for your second Facebook Live this week. Whew, I think this sunshine's going to be a little bit bright for me today. So I have been doing Tuesday at 2 for, I think about a year and a half, and that is where I come and do a Facebook Live every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Wow. Sorry, my eyes are watering, and I don't know that this is the best idea. Hey, Velma, I'm glad you're here. So I just recently began, hey, Mary Jane, this is actually my second week of doing a second Facebook Live, and so this is my second new time slot, and this is a regular feature of my Sweet Stamper Facebook page, and so I am here on Thursday to do something a little different than I do with you on Tuesday. So Tuesdays I focus on either techniques or virtual designing, which we had a lot of fun doing our virtual design last Tuesday. That was only 2 days ago. With one of the new bundles, and that is the Blossoming Blooms, something like that. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. And Patsy, you're here today. Hey there. So I'm really glad you guys could join me live. We do end up having quite a few people on the replay, which is always a great thing. I'm so appreciative of the flexibility that Facebook gives us, where we can film these Facebook Lives. But then if people can't join us live, that they can watch the replay. So that's really, really helpful. And I am going to do something with a new set of papers. I focused on Tuesday, and hey, Michelle, I know, I can't wait to see you either. I almost can't believe that retreat is gonna happen next month. But I think people are really hungry to gather, and I appreciate that the hotel has done a lot of things to kind of quell people's fears about meeting in public. So they've done a lot of things with their lobby and with their eating area, and I mean the governor's rolling things out more and more here. So but I think for those who are concerned at all about social distancing, it's all in place. So if people want to cluster together, they can. And if people want to socially distance, they can. And I like to give people choices. I feel like that is, we are still in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And one of the most powerful things about freedom is the freedom to choose. And so I like to be able to give people those choices in events. So that is what's happening with our retreat. And that is July 31 through August 2nd. So we'll also be about another almost 8 weeks down the road of the whole, coronavirus thing. So hopefully things will continue to flatten out and things will continue to decrease with regard to that. Okay, I am going to go ahead and flip the camera down because I need to get in and get on with this today, because I've got another Facebook Live I have to do for my training for my team members at 3 o'clock. So let's go ahead and pull the camera down and see where we go. This is that different. This is the other. Whoa! The whole thing popped out on me. I'm using a different, what do you call it? You call it a, I'm probably making you dizzy. Tripod. I think I may have to go back to my old one. Certain things I like about this one. Okay. So you can probably see my host code. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you are here. So before we get into today's stamping, let me just show you a couple of things. So I do have an ordering special right now, and here is my host code, and I'll just leave it right up there for you. And yeah, tripod, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. My tripod's a mess today. And so when you place a $50 order with my host code, and most of us have at least $50 on our shopping list, I'm going to send you a free embossing what do you call this, embossing sampler. And so this has a whole, pretty much all of the embossing folders that were in the past catalog. A lot of these carried over. And even if they didn't carry over, some of you have these. And this is just a really useful tool to be able to flip through when you're wondering what you want to create, because it has them already. You can see how it's going to look. So this is actually a really useful tool for you. So you get one of these, and I'm going to give you 5 cards out of my stash. So that's with a $50 order. And this is my host code right here. Now, let me also show you that on Tuesday, I keep wanting to say last week, on Tuesday, we created this card virtually. And let me know if, I need to pull this up on my computer. My brain keeps freezing. Not the computer. Thankfully, the computer's not freezing. But my brain keeps freezing, and I just want to make sure that we are online and that you can see better than it's come. Oh, yeah, it's really good light. Okay, because I'm in this window. Let's see, should we bring this down maybe just a wee bit closer? That's maybe a little better. Okay, so we made this card. We did a virtual design, and this is the new Blooming Blossom, something like that, with one of the new ink colors, and this is Bumblebee. And we paired it with Old Olive and Mary Merlot. And so this card, I told you we were going to be drawing for this. And I'm just drawing from the comments. So I drew from the comments, and Marlene, who hopefully will be joining us today, she's going to get this card in the mail. So I'm so excited to be able to share that with her. And so I'm going to start doing this for the foreseeable future. So the cards I do today, I will draw from the comments today, and that whoever the random comment winner will get the cards I demonstrate today. So this is the one that we worked on Tuesday. Today, I'm going to do 2 cards with you, and I am featuring this gorgeous designer series paper, and this is from a pack called Flowers for All Seasons. And they really do have, this is a 6x6 stack. It features all the new in colors, which is kind of cool. So you have the Bumblebee and the Just Jade. Then you also have the Cinnamon Cider, and then you also have the Misty Moonlight, and then you also have the Moonlight Madness. So this is a really pretty stack of paper, and it's called Flowers for All Seasons because when you get down here, you even have some for winter, which is really cool. This is kind of for any season. And so this one here, that one has poinsettias. So these really are for all seasons, flowers for all the seasons. And I chose this piece of paper for today. It does have all the I take it back. It has 4 of the 5 in colors. It does not have cinnamon cider. So that's the piece that I'm going to use today. And, of course, I knew I would forget something. Let me grab my paper trimmer.
Flowers for every season.
Flowers for every season. I keep wanting to say flowers for all seasons. Flowers for every season. Hey, Susie. I'm glad you're here. So this 6x6 piece is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. So I'm going to start by going to the 4. And I'm just going to cut off to there, and I need this to be 5 1/4 because I want that to nestle into my card base, and I have just this little piece left over. Now we're going to use this on our second card, so we will hang on to that, and I will come back because we're going to have to trim it down just a wee bit. Okay, so there is my gorgeous piece of paper. Now there's the back side is Just Jade, so the B side is a very quiet pattern, but I want all these pretty florals. So that is what I'm going to use. And look how the Moonlight Madness looks with Seaside Spray. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is take just my simple card base. This is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I've already scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to very simply add this. And doesn't that just look like a paper bouquet? A bouquet of flowers that I'm going to send someone. And I'm just going to add a little bit of snail here. I've ordered my new seal, and that's the new Stampin' Up tape runner. I'm anxious to see how it works. That will be here before the end of the week. Oh, this is Thursday. I think it's going to be here tomorrow. Hey, Marlene, you won. You won my drawing for the earlier in the week. So you won the comments drawing. So this card is going to be mailed to you. Yay for Marlene. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take several of those colors and I'm going to stack them together to make my greeting. And just a very, very simple greeting. I'm using the greeting from Celebrate Sunflowers. So I'm going to do this thanks a bunch, actually. And bunch, I like this because it's actually kind of a pun, because there's a bunch of flowers, and I'm going to do thanks a bunch. I don't have my in-color inks yet because those were not available on pre-order. Yesterday was the first day I could order those, just like everybody else. And so I'm going to use Night of Navy. And this actually looks really good with the Misty Moonlight. And it looks really good with this Bumblebee. So I am going to just do my, it's a little bit crooked. Let's try the other side. Let's see. I'm a little bit going downhill, I think. Let's see if I can do better this time. Oh, that's better. Okay. So there's my nice bold greeting that's going to go over here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to layer, and I do have PDF tutorials for these that will show up on my blog. I'm actually going to, these are both 3-inch pieces, and I'm going to go ahead, whoopsie, and whoop, oh, yay, yay. Lord have mercy. Let's see. Okay. That's what happens when you bang the tripod with your arm. I'm going to stick these together, and this is 3 by 1 and 3 by 1 1/4. I'm just going to flag the ends, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my favorite way to flag, and that is to use the tailored tag punch, and I'm just going to thread it through here, and voila, I have a perfect flag. And then I'm going to layer these flags with this piece over it so that this hangs off, and that is intentional. So I'm just going to layer this up with some snail, and then I'm going to take this whole tag, and it's just 3. I've stacked 3 of the new end colors here. This is Bumblebee and Magenta Madness and Misty Moonlight. And all I'm going to do is take some dimensionals, and these are just the ends. I know that I love the ends. They're some of my favorite pieces. And I'm just going to stack some of these right on here like so. And I'm going to put quite a few because I want this to really stand up for me. And I'm going to put a little bit right down here on this end because I don't want that end to sag and go all the way down to the back. Hey, Sue, I'm glad you're here with us. So, super simple. And that's kind of what I'm concentrating on. You'll find that I have a theme to my Thursday stamping, and it's going to be a little different than my other one. And so, excuse me, I sneezed last time too. I'm glad you like my tag, Susie. So this is the Seaside Spray Metallic Ribbon. This was actually introduced in our holiday catalog last year. I fell in love with it then. And it is still carried over into our new catalog. So this Seaside Metallic Ribbon, and you're not late at all, Diana. I just barely got kicked off here, and I'm probably going to end up sneezing. Excuse me. So sorry. That's the thing about live TV is you can't muffle those things. You can't change those things. Okay, so there's my ribbon, and I'm just going to add it right like so. This is super simple card. I've just stamped a greeting. I've got my pretty designer paper, and I've got my 3 colors stacked up in my for my tag. That's it. Super, super simple. Now I am going to take one little something, and that is that this whole thing is part of a mega suite. And a mega suite just means that there's 2 stamp sets that coordinate together. So this is where I pulled my greeting. There's also this stamp set that coordinates. And if you notice, these flowers are what you will see here. Hey, Crystal, I'm glad you're here. So I wanted to repeat these flowers because I like repeating patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little spray of flowers, that little bouquet, and this is a photopolymer stamp so you can see right through it. And I'm going to ink it up tone on tone with the Seaside spray. Yeah, simple is your favorite, Susie. Yeah, me too. I really challenge. Let me get my. So all I'm going to do is tap, tap, tap with the little bouquet, and I'm going to stamp it right inside here. And that way, hey Deanna and Adriana, I'm glad you're here. So now I have this same bouquet on the inside. So super simple, just stamps, ink, and paper with a little bow added, a little bit piece of ribbon. So now I'm going to take this same basic design and we're going to step it up just a wee bit. So now I'm going to put this here so we can kind of use that as a little bit of a guide. And I'm going to start with another of the same Seaside spray cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. You don't have to score it, but I really like a card base that is scored. I find that I get a better crease more easily. So now, you remember that 2-inch piece we cut off of this designer paper? I'm going to take that 2-inch piece and I'm going to cut it a little bit more because I still want the 2, but I don't need all 6. So I'm going to bring this down to 5. Just whack the end off a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to layer it on here, but I'm going to step it up a little bit. And the way I'm going to step it up, please tell me my cardstock is in here. I know I cut it. Where are you? Ah, there it is. I'm going to layer it on some Misty Moonlight. And you see how that frames it? So now, look at that. Now I have this lovely little frame. And I want to showcase this paper. I absolutely think the paper is gorgeous. So I want it to really do the kind of the heavy lifting of this handmade card. So I want it to really take front and center stage. So that is there. And then I'm going to layer this right onto my card front. Super simple. And I will have this PDF tutorial for both of these cards on my Sweet Stamper blog. But if you're kind of watching along with me right now, then you can see that this is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, and this is 5 by 2. So now I'm going to take this same stamp that I used on the inside of the card before, and now I'm going to put it on the outside. So once again, I'm going to take my Seaside spray stamp, and this is the beauty of just layering your colors, you know, just tone on tone. It's such an elegant look. So here is my stamp, and I'm just going to stamp it right down here at the bottom of my card, like so. And that is already looking very nice. Now, this Jar of Flowers stamp set does not have any greetings. So this is where when you could use any greetings at all, but I'm going back to this other stamp set that's part of a mega suite. And I'm going to pull in this congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. I think that's a nice saying, a nice greeting to send someone. So I'm going to go back to my same Night of Navy ink pad. So I'm just using the 2 ink pads for this, 2 different colors, 2 shades of blue. And I probably would use Moonlight Madness, but it's not here yet. So it's on its way. And here is my congratulations. And I'm going to use this Bumblebee, one of our other new in colors. And I'm just going to stamp it on here. And then I'm going to punch it out using the Everyday Label Punch. Everyday Label Punch has been around for several years, and there is good reason. A lot of us, this is a real workhorse in your, look at that, it's like a mirror. This is a workhorse in your paper crafting. It's just a really nice size label. So that is going to get punched out like so. And then I am going to, oh, I forgot my ribbon. I wanted to put some ribbon on here. Let's see if I can pull this. Let me see if I can pull it up yet. Oh, yay. Oh, yay. It's not stuck down yet. Okay. I'm trying to step this card up a little bit, and I forgot my ribbon. So let's go back to this. Let's add a little bit more. You know, if you go back to, if you're using a dry adhesive, you can typically go back as long as it hasn't been too long and lift it pretty easily. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want it way up here. Okay. I want it near the top. So let's do internet connection. It's a little bit unstable again. Okay. Now, let's try this again. I'm going to add some extra adhesive because that adhesive has already been stuck down once, and I want to make sure this sticks really well. Okay, that's looking better. See, I needed that little bit of ribbon and that little bit of shine. So now I'm going to pop that right like so. And I'm going to do that with a couple of dimensionals. So let me put these on here like so. Let me get one more. And this is just about ready to go. So you can see that I've made these 2 cards very quickly here. Super simple. I'm going to do it like that so that it's kind of in line with the ribbon. And then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little knot here. And I do like to keep my ribbon on the spool while I'm doing that. I find that I use less ribbon and it's just easier to control. So that, honestly, I don't think I need to double knot it. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I think it's going to stay. The reason you typically double knot is because your ribbon is kind of slippery, but this is not. It's got a little bit of texture on it. So that, and then last but not least, I'm going to add a couple of these frosted and epoxy dots. You get a whole sheet of the really shiny ones, and then you get a whole sheet of these frosted ones. And I want this is kind of soft. It's bright flowers, but kind of soft background colors. So I am going to take one of these big ones and put it right up here. And then I'm just going to kind of rain these down. I want it to be kind of like little raindrops almost. And then we'll do one more, about like so. So there we have a stepped up card. So here is my, hey Jeanette, I'm glad you're here. Here's my simple card and here's my stepped up card. And I did them both with a single piece of the 6x6 paper from that Designer Series paper stack. So what do you think? Do you prefer the simple or do you prefer the stepped up? The simple has more of the designer paper. The stepped up has a little bit more detailing. You know, we added kind of a fancier punch. This doesn't technically need a punch. I used one to flag this, but you could do that just by hand with your paper snips. And we have a little bit of ribbon on each. I added an extra layer here. And yeah, that's it. So super simple, but I think they're really elegant. I love the colors in this designer series paper. And this again is 4 of our 5 new in colors. So super simple. And that is what I have for you today. So Thursday, we're going to be concentrating on, I'm going to be doing a simple and a stepped up card for you every Thursday. Hey, Jackie, I'm glad you're here. And then on Tuesday, I will still be doing either a technique or virtual designing, or sometimes we do a little bit of both as it works, kind of as things unfold. That's a very kind of an organic Facebook Live. We have a lot of fun there. So I hope that you'll join me on both. And again, I wanted to just let you know that this is my host code that's going right now. And with a $50 order, you get this sampler of all these different embossing folders. They are labeled. So this is a terrific tool for your designing. And then you also get a stack of 5 cards from my stash. So you will get 5 cards, and you will get this lovely embossing folder sampler. So that is with a $50 order with this host code. And that is what I have for you today. We were quick and easy is the name of the game on Thursdays. So that is it for today. Remember that I will do another drawing. I've got to flip you around here. I will do another drawing for the cards that I demonstrated today. Marlene won the drawing for Tuesday. So what I do is I get to the end of, when I get ready to present again, I will count up all of the comments, and I think the comments from Tuesday, I think they were like, I don't know, it was like 87 comments or something. And I just plug that number into random.org. It draws a number for me, and then I just count down that person and find that person. And it was Marlene on Tuesday. So she's going to get our Tuesday card that we kind of worked on together. And then, well, I won't do it today. I'll do it on Tuesday. I will do a drawing from the comments for this particular Facebook Live. And that person will get the cards that I demonstrated today, the 2 simple and stepped up cards. So thank you so much for joining me here today. And it's been great to hang out with you and do something a little bit fun, a little bit creative, and a little bit pretty. I love the flowers. I think that you guys enjoyed it as well. And Trudy, I'm glad you joined us. And it's okay if you joined us halfway through. If you want to go back and watch the beginning, you can. And yeah, I'm glad you like my deal, Jeanette. I was trying to, I do try to really reward you guys and just make it fun. So I'm glad that you're here, Trudy. And again, I will be here Tuesday at 2 o'clock and now Thursday at 2 o'clock as well. So Tuesday and Thursdays at 2 o'clock right here at facebook.com/sweetstamper. Be sure to like my page, and then you'll get you can ask for notifications. Well, I think it'll ask you if you want to be notified, but you have to like the page in order to get the notifications, and that just reminds you, hey, Candy's going to be on at 2 o'clock. I need to tune in. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on Tuesday. Take care, and God bless.